Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the pimp slap POD, Mike M.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not the typical way to ball. It's last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike Money's killers might even make the evening news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Buzz Sports Radio, you know we be pumping!
What up? What up? Welcome on in. It's Last Call. Here we go. It's Tuesday, April 16th at 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, Last Call here with Pub Sports Radio. You already know what we're getting into tonight. We got ourselves a sports card. We got some NHL. Just 3 days left in the National Hockey League. It's been oh so good to us. And we are big game hunting tonight in the NHL. Get your shotguns out. Get ready to load them up. We're going after them Bears. It's going to be a big night tonight. Then we got ourselves some Major League Baseball. I'm still thinking about some Major League Baseball games I want to add into this equation tonight. We probably will. We probably will have a larger Major League. Man, last night, glorious Major League Baseball night. It was glorious. 4-1 here on the show. We'll get to the recap in a minute, but I think I went 17-2. I mean, it was a monster day in the MLB. Starting to heat up. I'm excited about that. And then, of course, it's a big play-in day. Did somebody say playoffs? We got our guy Billy Briz coming in here to help us navigate the hardwood here. The NBA ninja of the hard court, ready to go set a fire to that bookie's pockets and get that cash into ours. So going to be a lot of fun to see how it rolls tonight. Again, I just want to keep adding. I just want to keep adding to this card tonight. I'm going to have to put some, I'm going to have to reserve myself a little bit here. Guys, make sure I kind of keep it in check here, right? We've already got monster RBI spots out there. We've got, oh man, what a great game earlier today. The Detroit Tigers. I told you. Public service announcement. If I get up in the morning and I tweet out a public service announcement, you best listen. God damn it. Go and follow me at X, at pimpslap.pod. I mean, I'm not laughing. I guess I'm not laughing with you or at you if you were on the Texas Rangers side of things, but what are you thinking? I mean, come on. First of all, you got a pitcher that loves to go on the under there in that Detroit side of the house there. They are 2-8, I believe, in their last 10 games to the under in favor of the under. 8-2, I guess is the better way to word that. You got a better bullpen out there, and you got Cole Bats. Shame on you. Shame on you if you were on the Texas Rangers. Let's roll on, though. We're going to get after it tonight. Look, I'm not trying to gloat. Just excited about the win. It was an under as well. The first 5 under, the full game under. We cashed. We stacked it up high and we let it fly. So, it's going to be a fun Major League Baseball season. I can't wait. And I'm hoping you guys are going to ride with me. We're going to crush this baseball season. I cannot wait. But you guys are just getting to hit that thumbs up button, show the support, help us crack the code. That is this 6 p.m. market. We're going up against heavy hitters in the 6 p.m. lineup. Everybody thinks they got the best solution to help you guys get those bets laid out there before the first puck drop, the first pitch off the home plate, whatever the case may be, but nobody does it better than Pub Sports Radio. It's a fully cohesive entity here. It's not just the panel. It's our chat. It's our folks that show up on the regular, bringing their best bets, their best looks. It's the way we analyze the angles, the trends, the cash flow. We embrace it all. We leverage technology and we utilize each other to come out there and smash those bookies, get that money into our pockets. So hit that thumbs up button if you're making money with us. Of course, grab a pen and paper. You know the deal. You're going to want to write down this place, not just here via the panel. Myself, Billy Briz tonight, Billy the Kid, the NBA Ninja. Let's go. And then, of course, you're going to want to write down these plays that the chat shares for us here. This chat is the sharpest in the entire YouTube universe. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on. I know I'm not wrong. You can't tell me that. And then last but not least, guys, throw your plays in the chat. Let's see what you guys are on tonight. Let's make sure that we're recognizing your hard work. Everyone's coming in with their way to go out there and attack these bookies. And I can't wait to talk about it with you guys here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of work to do. As always, And man, baseball doesn't do us any. We have to consider moving the show up a little bit, just to get this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna kick that around. I know I've been working with T. We're talking about some redesigns for the baseball season. Want to give you guys meaningful information. Hit me up on X over there. DM me if there's certain things that you want to see more incorporated into Major League Baseball this summer. Let me know. We're in the stages now, the design stages to get it done. And, we already got the plane in the air. This is where we fix those wings as we're flying it. So you guys have heard me say that time and again. Let's see what's doing out there with the chat. Joe T, my guy, up in the house. He says, let's get that cash. 0-4, shitty start to the week, but he's going to bounce back here. He's looking for the Flames and the Canucks first period over 1.5. $2. My guy's got 17 bets in today there. Since he's got the first one with the Tigers, let's go, my guy. G Martinez in the house. Good to see you, G. Tone Megan says LFG. There's Juggler 23. He brings the wise guy action out there for us. Says wise guy overnight play was Warriors -2.5, but Golden State is 24-51 straight up, 24-51 against the spread on the road. In the one-day rest scenario over the last two seasons, a 68% fade. First taking the points. Points on the other side for our guy Juggler 23. Josh Lower 34. There's a new name in the chat that I have not seen before. Tennis, where it's completed a 17-player team parlay. Jesus, man, 17-player team parlay. Fucking nice job, dude. That's just not even angry. That's great, dude. Congrats to you. Drop that stuff in there. Let us see what's cashing. And there's my guy Dan. He says, "Sup, gang, LFG." Josh says it was Sweaty Garcia had to come back from 3-5. Oh man, I bet I probably would have cashed that. I don't know. 17 players. Jesus, that's crazy. Let's go. Pub Sports Radio. My guy T on the ones and twos says NBA playoffs begin. Smash the like button. X there's the 420 in the house. Eck, he says, let's fucking go, my guy Blake M. What a night we have in store. Wee! I can't do it the justice that Ick does, but I can feel his energy and his passion when he drops in just those two little sentences there. I can feel it there. My guy Aero Sports Bet says, hello, first-time listener. Looking forward to seeing what this show has to offer. Oh, Nick, stop it now. Winner Circles in the house. He says, Anthony Davis under a half on the threes. Pelicans first quarter. Penguins money line. Braves, Astros over 9 out there. Liking some runs in that Braves and Astros game. Subhuman Gaucho in the house. Rob McMahon in the house. Says, Money Mike, get that cash. We're up, Rob McMahon. Subhuman, my guy. There's the Subhuman hockey play of the day. Raymond anytime goal score plus 180 for our guy. And you can see that record 14-7 plus 14.5 units for my guy. Subhuman Gaucho. Mikey Morris in the house. What up, my guy? Marco Carrasco up there says Parlay Taco Tuesday. Well, you have come to the right spot, Marco. One. We got 2 of them. We got 3 of them. We got 3. I think we got 4 of them today. I might have lied. I think we got 4 of them. Every one of the hockey spots, I believe, is a parlay today. So, and then I believe we have one for the NBA as well. So, going to be fun putting it on the line. Strategic, calculated decisions, not just parlays for Taco Tuesday, but prefer to call it Tomahawk Tuesday. I'm going to sunset this Taco Tuesday thing. It's Tomahawk Tuesday. We're going to eat some ribeyes tonight. Subhuman Gotcha says, pardon me, forgot to update the record 14-7 plus 13.56 units. Okay, no worries. Josh says, to be honest, I would have been on Rangers. Glad I stayed away. Subhuman Gotcha says, 14. We'll get you there. We'll get you there, Subhuman Gotcha. I hate when I do that and I post the record update on X and then I'm like, fuck, I got to go back and edit it and update it, everything else that goes into it. Much more on the Kings money line. I believe that's Sacramento. Nick Earl says, Tigers first 5 under 4.5 was a nice start today. Hell yeah, it was, man. It was, unfortunately, it took Seager getting flagged down there for us to get that done because I would have liked all my guys to cash, but stop, Troy Torrance. Mike M celebrating a play where he was it wasn't extremely lucky, man. It wasn't. But okay, I mean, look, I'll tell you what was extremely, I don't have time. Extremely lucky was that Detroit-Pittsburgh game where they go to overtime and Pittsburgh wins by a goal. That was extremely lucky. But anyhow, Steve G says, Mikey Strassman. Troy, I can't wait to get you involved with the show, man. We're going to talk more about that database. I'm excited to see what you have to offer for us there. I love to hear the numbers, the angles, the spot. I love that when you talk about the totals correlating with the side and the cash movement for me. Those are all the things that get me jacked up, man. That's that uniqueness that your database brings to the table that nobody else does, my guy. So it's going to be big. I know you said you're looking to stack 50 units. There's more Braves moneyline, Pelicans, Lakers under 224 parlay. Let's eat. The Futon bet says LeBron Sabonis triple-double. Let's cash, buddy. Subhuman Gotcha says, what? WRT, Raymond in April. Raymond has 1+ goals in 4 of 7 goals total, and averaging over 3.5 shots on goal during that span. Alec Dirks, 5:30 start would be fine. Yeah, I'm thinking I got to do that. We'll figure it out, Alec Dirks, but I appreciate that. Thank you for the feedback. I just, we got baseball plays to get to, and I want to talk about you guys and everything you guys have in the chat. So it's one of those things where we just have to tinker it a little bit to make sure we get it out there. Josh Flower 34 says, I'm suspended from Twitter. My guy, what did you do? Dan Kelly says, beautiful day up standard. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Feels good coming out this thing swinging 4-0 off the hop. Subhuman Gotcha says, got to play a little Jackets money line at the plus number. Also liking the Wings halves over by Fecta. Let's go. Darius Moore, Red Wings money line. True Teller says, just a few. Earl Sports Bet says, MLB off to a good start to the season. 87, 73, and 12. Nice job, Earl. Nice job, Nick. Good job, my guy. Look at that with that baseball record for my guy, Nick Earl. True Teller says, I watched like 5 bet shows today. Oh, man, you only needed one. It's right here, True Teller. Save yourself all that after. Get a nice nap in you. Anyhow. John Chai says, what a great cash on the Tigers, Mike. Money. Yeah, man. That was a lot of fun. Subhuman Gotcha says, good work. Juggler 23, you might have talked me into the spot. Nasty Nate, Mr. Trifecta says, Troy. Oh, yeah. Well, listen, you got to take your swings. You got to stand by your numbers, and he does, and he owns it. He's all good. He's accountable to it. Nasty Nate. AOD says, Mike, the last call has become a routine of my daily activities. We love you for it. Man, that's kind words, my guy, AOD. I appreciate you coming in here on the regular daily, my guy. Subhuman says, very much looking forward to the NHL slate. Some very meaningful games tonight. AOD says, 6 p.m. Mike M. Pimp Slap call of the Wild. Let's roll. Trisha M in the house. Hey, I got the grill heating up for the ribeye today. Alec Dirk says, Bruins moneyline, Red Wings moneyline, Warriors moneyline, parlay plus 269, $400. Play to win a K, my guy. Alec Dirks, get your money. Tori Coker, Julian Cesario in the house. Mikey Morris says, yes, sir, Sacramento Kings moneyline. I'm torn on the Lakers game. Brett Cook, luck is part of the game. Yeah, I'd rather be lucky than good, man. Every day of the week, I'd rather be lucky than good. Mikey Morris says, I'm taking the Nats moneyline too. Rogue Energy says, let's go Wings. Troy Terrace says, yeah, extremely is an overstatement. Mikey Morris says, I want to hear when everyone is on the Jays game. Make sure you put those comments in the chat for our guy out there. Mikey Morris, make sure you share it with him out there. Josh Lord says, I got to subscribe. Good positive vibes you bring. Thanks, man. Yeah, definitely subscribe out there. $9.99 a month. We'll talk more about it. Matt, XRP in the house. Mike is a sharp man. Let's milk the bookies. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Good to see you in here. Matt, XRP. Look, guys, we got to get stuff rolling out there. True Teller. Subhuman Gotcha says, would love to see more of Troy T around here. My ears always perfect. Yeah, we got to get a collab going here. We got to get Troy a seat, a chair at the table for last call. I've reached out. I know he said he would be willing to get involved. So I just have to ask him nicely. Maybe try to, I don't know. We'll see what I can do to get this guy on the show today or in this baseball season here. I'm excited to hear about that database now. Going into season number 2 for my guy, Troy Torrance. I know. I'm tracking it. I see what you're doing, my guy. Let's roll. True Teller says, Mike, giving out Tigers first thing in the AM, dude. Oh, man. It was exciting. It was fun. Let's talk about this here. We got to recap. We got to go through yesterday's plays. We got to be transparent, and we got to keep a brisk pace so that we can keep on rolling here. We got a lot of show to cover. Lots of plays to get to. We don't have a lot of time to get there. So let's go through this high level here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 3 day yesterday is how it shook out. It was a positive day as well. So we did gain just about 2 units, 1.9 units on the day yesterday. We cashed that Islander spot. The Bruins in regulation cost us. That was an even money spot. So it is what it is. I mean, you don't want to lose these things either, right? But the LA Kings in the over 5.5. That's just a bad call. Fucking Minnesota came out there hungry early. 3-1 or 4-1 final. Didn't even get to the total. The Kings just shut down. I expected them to put some offense out there and try to jockey for that playoff position. But let that be a note for anybody that's thinking about them Kings in the playoffs. It was a 1 and 2 day there. But We ripped it up in Major League Baseball. We went 4-1 yesterday. The San Francisco comeback Giants, baby, minus 115 cash. Tampa Bay minus 1, sadly. That was probably one of my favorite plays, too. And they didn't. I guess it's hard to say that because I double dipped that Arizona game. The first 5 under 4.5 cash, the under 9 cashed, and then the KC under 8. I don't know, man. I enjoyed all that card yesterday, man. I don't know. I'm starting to warm up to being a baseball fan here. You know, you're looking at a guy that just could care less about the sport. I might have played it in the back. We grew up with a big backyard, so I might have played it in the backyard growing up with the neighbors, but that was the extent of my excitement about baseball. But man, it's just things line up, you know, the X's and the O's, as they say, and the less about the Jimmies and the Joes for me. But let's get into the NHL, guys. We've got a big card to cover here across the entire sportscape tonight. We know Billy Briz is ready and rocking. He's getting out there, putting the final finishing touches on how he's going to go smash that NBA. I cannot wait for him to share it. Let's talk about some hockey. And look, it's a big night. It's a big night. I told you guys last night, I was inclined to go out there and parlay all the teams that I need. Look, I like the Flyers. Fuck you. How about that? I like the Flyers. And there's nothing you can say about it or do about it to change my mind. I wish they lost earlier this season. I wish they lost. They didn't. I'm stuck with it. I got to own it for like 2 more days. So I'm going to own it here. And we're going to start off with this Capitals and Flyers spot. You know, at the end of the day, for me, I don't know what to say. It's all in at this point. We should have lost in November. We should have lost in December. We should have lost in January. We should have lost in February. We should have lost in March. We should have lost last week. They just kept winning. Dumb sons of bitches. But now what we've got going is Charlie Lindgren, and we've got Sammy Ersson out there going and firing it up. You know, we look at this thing here, and I'm going to be short and sweet with this one. We've got Lindgren, 24, 16, and 7. He's got a 2.71 goals against average and a 91% save percentage. Sammy Ersson, 23, 18, and 7, 2.86 goals against average, 89% save percentage. Flyers need to win to stay in. They need a lot of help. If the Detroit Red Wings win in regulation, they're done. The Capitals win, they're done. They got to go out there. They got to kick some ass and take some names tonight. I expect them to do just that. They are the rested team. They are at home. I do expect the building to be rocking. If you look at what Ersson's done, now Ersson comes in with rest as well. Rested team, rested goaltender, 44 saves on 45 shots over his last 2 games out there. And he's looking at this tired, tuckered out Washington team that's on that second leg. So we definitely have the advantage with the rest. I'm going to double up this one here. I'm parlaying this. You'll see it in the screen down below. I'm going to Owen Tippett. Your big-time players need to show up in those big-time games. Owen Tippett, top-line talent, top power play unit out there. It's Frost, it's Tippett, it's Couturier. You know, generally speaking, that's going to be the lineups there. But now it's Tippett and Frost. Those are the 2 guys to watch out for the Philadelphia Flyers. We've seen Tippett has crossed this number. I want to say it's 9 of his last 12 games. He's gone over the 3.5 shots mark. This guy's got to be shooting the puck. I watched a little bit of their practice on, was it Spectrum TV there this morning? I was watching how they had that big Russian in goal, and I don't know. I got a problem. What do you want me to say? I like the Flyers. And Owen Tippett looked good. Frost and Tippett are out there. They're firing. They're zigging and zagging. They got speed. They got agility. And they got ice time to go out there and get this thing done. Now, you can play the 3.5 shots on goal. You can play it at plus 115. Fine with that spot if you just want to take the Tippett prop bet. But I'm parlaying it together with the Flyers to win the game itself. They got to win. They got the rest advantage. They got the goaltender that's playing better. I'm going with the Flyers and Owen Tippett over 3.5 goals. Now, if you're tired of hearing me say the Flyers, then hope that they lose tonight. Because if they win and they go into the playoffs, it's a whole different animal. But game number 2 we're going to talk about here. This one's kind of the, you know what? This might be the Nick Earl delight here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's going to be opposite of what he expects, I think. We'll see. We'll see. We got the Chicago Blackhawks and the Vegas Golden Knights rolling out there tonight. Yep, Chicago Blackhawks are going to start Peter Mrazek. He's tired. He's been gassed out this season. He's 18, 30, and 4 on the season. He's got a 3.06 goals against average and a 90.6% save percentage. Then Vegas is going to Logan Thompson, 24, 14, and 5 with a 2.74 goals against average and a 90.7% save percentage. Man, Vegas, that the other day there, Colorado, this team's still got some fight in them, man. And I know they should. They're going into the playoffs. They should have some fight in them. But what were they down 4-0 in that game? And they rallied all the way back to win the thing in overtime. That was a huge win out there for them boys. It would have been even more notable if I hadn't cashed that 16-1 Oakland Athletics live bet. But hey, those are the breaks. We'll take that one as well. And here's where I said this is the Nick Earl special. I know Nick. I know his philosophy. No team should be a minus 300 or higher, right? I get it. I don't totally unsubscribe to that theory, and I don't want to put words in Nick's mouth. I know it's his first time watching the show, but here's the thing. The Chicago Blackhawks, when they're a dog of 300 or more, are 0-11. 0-11 when they're getting big plus odds. 0-11. They're losing those games by 2.25 goals a pop. The under is hitting at over 72% in those games as well. They're not scoring when that happens. They're just not able to put 2 and 2 together. The 2.25 goals factor to me with this Vegas team that's running hot, moving into the playoffs against a gassed-out Mrazek, a gassed-out Chicago Blackhawks team. I got the Vegas minus 1.5 in the under 6, and it's a plus 276 spot out there. Do not adjust your screens. You see it properly. Vegas minus 1.5 and the under 6 at plus 276. I'm threading the needle on both these NHL plays to start this day off. Because as we look at the third play that I've got for you guys, it's a 3-leg parlay that I'm jumping into here for this third leg of the NHL. We got to move fast. We got a lot to cover. Want to make sure we talk about your guys' plays as well. So hear me out with this 3-legger here. Look, shout out to Jimmy the Bag and, of course, Pete Loshak talking about that Columbus game earlier today. You know, I wanted to give you guys Columbus tonight. I thought it was a good spot. Carolina, I don't really have anything left to play for in the playoffs. Now, the Florida Panthers do. They're jockeying around. The Boston Bruins do. They're jockeying around. You know, we're looking at these teams that are still trying to make some things happen for the playoffs. Carolina's not really one of them. They're pretty much locked in their position that they are, and that's fine. I have them as a future bet to win the Stanley Cup at 12-1. But Columbus, man, that thing dropped from plus 220 to plus 120 this afternoon, right around lunchtime, in the middle of the show with Jimmy and Pete today. So I like Columbus. I'm not going to tell you guys to go take Columbus at this point simply because it's moved a dollar. Again, I mean, it's moved in the right direction, but there's no more value left in that Columbus pick because Columbus does suck. Let's not underestimate how bad Columbus is. But what I did is I parlayed the Columbus Blue Jackets with the Boston Bruins. I got the Boston Bruins in that spot where they're on their home ice off a loss. They're 28-7 on their home ice as a favorite off a loss. 28-7. They're winning by 1.23 goals a game on average. Then I'm looking at the Winnipeg Jets on the other side when we have a total at 5.5, as we do with this Winnipeg Jets team. They are 18-10 on the season in those spots out there. The Winnipeg Jets are still playing with some panache. On the other side of things, the Seattle Kraken are not. The Seattle Kraken have extracted enough of my cash. They are a straight fade for me until this season is finally over. It's 3 legs, and it's plus 375. It's Winnipeg, it's Boston, and it's the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's going to be a 3-banger right there. That's 3 parlays in the NHL. I told you guys, if we're going to get after it this time of the year, we're going to take our winnings, we're going to take our profit, we're going to put it on the line, and we're going to go for some big scores because at this point, it's that time to go get it done. If we're going to go risk, we need the reward. It's not good enough to be a minus 110 or a plus 120. And in some of these spots, we can totally isolate where these things make sense. And I think all 3 of them do. Owen Tippett over 3.5 shots on goal and the Philadelphia Flyers plus 235. The Vegas Golden Knights minus 1.5 in the under 6 plus 276. And then Winnipeg, Boston, and Columbus. Look, we get one of these things. We're playing with house money on the other side. That's how we do this shit long-term and sustain it. That's how you pay bills with this shit. You can't just be comfortably taking your minus 110s. You're going to get juiced out. You're going to get juiced out. We're not here to squeeze juice. We're here to kick ass and take names. Here to do 2 things. Drink some vodka, kick some ass. I'm all out of vodka right now, so it looks like it's ass-kicking time. Let's roll on. Let's talk about the Major League Baseball. Look, there's a lot I wanted to give you guys here in Major League Baseball tonight. I gotta pull it back a little bit. I gotta pull the reins in here because I can give you guys a play on every fucking game. I feel that good about Major League Baseball right now. Seeing it clearly, reading the balls and the strikes, getting it done. There's the parlay on the screen for my guy T. Let's jump into this one here, though. Let's start off 6:40 p.m. here. 15 minutes till first pitch for the San Francisco Giants, the Miami Marlins. And Subhuman Gotcha says, love the NHL plays, Mike. Just my style. Good luck, brother. Hell yeah, man. We go two of 3. we're still going to be up like 4 units in that spot. That's how you do it. Those are, you guys understand. You guys are my people. You've heard me do this long enough. You've seen we've been successful. Man, we have taken shots all course of the last call long when we build up, we take a big swing. We build up, we take a big swing. Today we're taking that big swing. We've only got 3 days left in hockey, and it's been our best sport until baseball. But 6:40 p.m., the San Francisco Giants going back out there against the Miami Marlins. And we got a line with 88% of the bets and 95% of the cash on the San Francisco Giants. If you guys are new here, we use all the tools and technology afforded to us now, just like the books are going out there using all kinds of programs to get the best edges over their players. We need to utilize all the tools available to us to try to regain those edges against the bookies, against the line makers. What we're using here is we're using the cash flow splits. We've got the bets and the money. We'll break them down into 2 buckets. The bets are typically going to be all the soup. It's the $5 bettors, the $10 bettors, the parlays. No shaming anybody that's a $5, $10 unit better, but that's where the bets tend to fall into. The cash, the percentage of money, is typically going to be your standalone bets, your larger bettors, the guys that come in with a backpack full of cash. They drop it on the counter. They say, give me 10 dimes on the San Francisco Giants. They get the manager over. The manager approves the bet. And then it's not just the bets and the money, but it's the reaction. This is the part that, like, every show that I've seen that talks about this shit misses out on. The reaction to how the books are making everybody outside of the pub sports radio universe. But it's the reaction to that cash and the bets that we want to look at and analyze how the books are reacting to it. Troy does it with his database all the time. And he's measuring the success rates on those factors now, which is going to be turning the database up another level with what Troy Torrance is doing out there. In this case, we see 88% of the bets, 95% of the cash on the San Francisco Giants. Arguably no movement right now. 2 cents of movement against the Miami Marlins. It went from plus 116 to plus 118. The total has reverse line movement. We have 55% of the bets on the under, 88% of the cash on the under. It's gone from 8 to 8.5, suggesting we see runs. Now, generally speaking, I would look at this thing and think to myself, where are the runs going to come from? It's Weathers. He's 2.57 ERA. He's got a 1-1 record on the season out there. This guy is difficult, to say the least. The other thing that he doesn't have rolling for him here is exactly what this San Francisco team likes to do out there. 5th highest OBA against southpaws of .348. And they don't strike out. They get on base a ton. The power's a factor, but we'll see. That doesn't matter. They don't necessarily need to have a lot of power. They got Jordan Hicks rolling on the other side of things out there. When they're favored, when San Francisco, this is the trend that we talked about last week. The team's favored in a game off a win that they trailed going into the 5th inning. This is the all-heart trend that we talked about last week. They're trailing going into the 5th inning. They're a favorite. They win by 1 run, or they lose by 1 run, or they win outright. So I got distracted there. My fault. 13-1 in that spot for 3 runs a game on average is the number that we're seeing out there. It's the heart of work. We talked about it last week with Baltimore rather. Baltimore had that big comeback in the 9th inning after the error to go out there and get on top of that thing, and they were able to get on top of that thing. So I'm fading Weathers in this spot there. I think the motivation keeps it rolling. 3-14 Miami Marlins going back to where they belong. They came out early with that lead yesterday. They were not able to hang on to it, and we got that cash here. And it's a double dip spot for me here. It's a double dipper. I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants money line. I see the first 5 money line is minus 128. And I see the full game money line is minus 130. So this thing's moved considerably, unfortunately. But I'm still good with it. I'm still good with the San Francisco first 5 money line minus 128 and the full game money line minus 130. Again, we're playing on that heart angle. These boys to go out there and get the job done. Tons of bats that are out there smashing and mashing these pitchers up on this side of things. When it comes to Weathers, I just think this guy's in trouble today. You know what? Rather than the first 5, I'm going to change gears here for you guys. I'm going to give you an RBI play for this game. It's okay if I do that, right? Nobody cares if I give you guys an RBI play of the day instead. I'm going to Wilmer Flores. We got this guy here at plus 190 right now. Flores, RBI spot, plus 190. And listen, what I like about this guy here is he's hitting the 3-hole right now. This guy was certainly an opportunity to go out there and get the job done type of guy. Hits with some power, and he's hitting in front of Conforto. Now, Conforto is leading the team in every single hitting category across the San Francisco on-base percentage, batting average, home runs, RBIs, everything is saying smash and cash with Conforto. And I'm not mad if you want to do that at plus 240. But Flores coming in there around 2 in the team. He's number 2, if you will, from a batting perspective. Conforto's in the 4 spot. Flores is in the 3 spot. Flores, who's not leading the batting average or the numbers across the team, is priced at plus 190. Conforto is plus 240. The guy that's crushing the ball for all of San Francisco's runs is 240, and Flores is plus 190. Can't say it any more clear. I'm going to go to Flores. I'm going to take San Francisco minus 130. I'm going to go with Flores at plus 190 for the RBI play of the day here for last call. Maybe we'll have another one. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. I hope that's good for you guys. I'm good with it. Troy Torrance in the house says, Mike M., Giants first half and full game, we align. Troy, when we align, we have an unbelievably high success rate. And I'm glad to hear that, my guys. So appreciate you being here and saying that and lining up with what we got going on. I'm going to rock it, though. I'm going with that first half. And I'm sorry, with San Francisco Giants minus 130 and Flores at plus 190. Onward, game number 2, the Colorado Rockies, the Philadelphia Phillies. How about that? The 215 is buzzing tonight. They got Citizens Bank Park. Man, if you haven't seen it before, you got to see an aerial of the sports complex downtown Philadelphia. It's truly like the 4 corners, right? All the corners has a stadium or a giant parking lot there. And it's going to be a fucking zoo, I would imagine, down there tonight. This is the type of night where they send you the text alerts in the morning and say, you're going to the Phillies game or you're going to the Flyers game, you better get there early because it's going to be a mess. And then they encourage you to take the subway. SEPTA, the regional transportation. And then regional transportation leads to lots and lots of cocktails. And then it leads to a sick day the next day. So anyhow, that's my experience in Philadelphia. But as we look at this game here, we've got the Rockies opening up here. And we've got really no money on them. 95% of the bets and 95% of the cash on the Phillies. It's minus 250. It's going to be hard to get some cash out of them, boys. You got to go minus 1.5 to go minus 118. Now, for point of contention or clarification here, I did notice that the home team factor with that minus 1.5 is actually a real thing. I didn't think it. I get it. I guess you could argue the semantics behind it. I'll have to do a deeper dive behind it, but I did run the query through the database to see exactly what the home team and the run line looked like over the last 3 seasons. So I've got the raw data. I just need to break it down. But on the aggregate, it does look like you don't want to be laying that minus 1.5 for the home team. I'll break it down. We'll talk more about that as we get into the baseball season. But then let's look at the total. The total opened at 8.5. We have 45% of the bets, but we have 86% of the cash on the over. What did the line do? It got softer. It went from minus 110 over 8.5 to minus 105 over 8.5. And that now we've got this under 8.5 sitting there, staring us in the face. Right now, we got a minus 114 on this under. A lot of minus 115s and some minus 118s out there on the 4.5. Look, I don't know what they were thinking with that Freeland shit. I don't know if you guys saw that or not yesterday. I can't believe what I saw. Put the best pitcher in there as a relief runner. And he breaks his arm sliding into home. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about it. But here's what I do know what to say. These bats are not necessarily hot on either side of the equation right now. You look at the last game yesterday, it was a 2-1 win for the Phillies, meaning a 2-1 loss for the Rockies. The Rockies scored no runs the game before that. They lost 5-3 the game before that. They did win 12-4. That was a game we were on the Colorado Rockies at plus 205. Before that, they lost 5-3 as well. In fact, when it comes to totals and the Philadelphia, I got to run through the Rolodex of which Philadelphia team I'm looking at here. When it comes to the Philadelphia Phillies, the last 7 night games against the National League have gone under. They're 11-1 to the under as a whole, their last 12 games. 12 games. The only game that did go over for them boys in Philadelphia was that last game against Pittsburgh. It was a 9-2 loss. It wasn't their fault that it wasn't their offense's fault. The reason that game went over is because Pittsburgh bats exploded. We've got the under 8.5 right now, and currently I see a number that's moving in our direction. Minus 114 is the best number I can get on that Philadelphia Phillies spot. The Philadelphia Phillies under 8.5, minus 114. Let's go onward. Let's, in fact, go onward and upward. 7:40 p.m. I'm adding a game. Fuck it. How about that? I'm adding a game. We're going to go to this Kansas City Royals White Sox spot right now. We got a line that opened at minus 42. It's sitting at minus 190. 90% of the bets and 68% of the cash sitting there on them Kansas City Royals. Then we look at the total. It's moved from 8 to 8. So there's been no movement. 43% of the bets and 92% of the cash. Looking for runs in this game out there. And I don't know about that. I thought that too. Something tells me that there's going to be Eloy Jimenez should be coming back in the lineup today, but I don't know. Doesn't look like they're going to see that. They still have Moncada, Lou Bob, and Eloy Jimenez all still ruled out. So I have not seen that thus far. Chris Bubik still out with the elbow injury on the Kansas City Royals side of things. But I will tell you this. Short, sweet, and to the point. We got a Kansas City situation right now, specifically in the game, coming off a game that they played that last spot out there, specifically to a Nerfy. When there's a no-run first inning spot for this Kansas City Royals team this season, they're 8-1 straight up. They're 8-1 on the run line. They're smashing the run line by 4.5 runs a game on average. So they're crushing this number. They're beating the ball up right now. They're finding comfort. They're scoring around 7 runs per game on average, which is where I could see the over comes into play. They're scoring around 7. They're getting scored on about 2. That puts us right around a 9. I wouldn't be mad at anybody that wanted to take this game over the total. What I'm doing there is I'm going to take this Kansas City first 5 and parlay it with the Kansas City full game. So essentially it's like playing that full first 5 minus a half and the full game. I guess minus a half, right? They got to win the game. They need to be up after the first 5. They need to be up after the game. And it's a minus 105 spot for me to go Kansas City, Kansas City. So I'm adding that one there. No graphic on the game itself. But again, I would not be mad at anybody to have the total. Kansas City minus 1.5. I'm just opting to go first 5 and full game spot out there. And Kelly V says, hey, KC minus 1. Singer good and Chicago sucks. Yeah, that's well put. That's articulate. And it makes a lot of sense. So I totally agree with you there. She says Pirates, Jones over 5. Okay, the total 5. Oh, 5 Ks. I see it kind of wrote down on another line out there. NHL Jets minus 1 and Boston minus 1 for Kelly V out there. Robert Martin says pizza money on the Rockies here, pimp. Okay, not mad at that, man. I mean, look, they're one of the worst teams in baseball when they're sitting there in that large favorite role, but they can't lose them all, can they? He says, I can't do a unit on Colorado. Man, I'll tell you what, maybe, well, I wouldn't advocate Colorado in a parlay with the under because if they do happen to win and it goes over, then you just screwed yourself. So, yeah, I'd be cognizant of that. But Subhuman Gotcha says Flores and Conforto to each have an RBI plus 800. Man. It's a 3 and the 4 spot, though. The only way for that really, well, I guess it's not the only way. The bottom of the order gets on base a lot, too, Subhuman Gaucho. So, they're scoring. They're getting runs. Not mad at that play whatsoever. Let's roll onward. 9:40 p.m. We've got the Cincinnati Reds and the Seattle Mariners here, guys. Here's a little bit of art and science. You know what? It's something I used to say back in my sales career, or at least when I was managing a sales team and I was talking to these folks about, leading a sales team. When I was leading a sales team, we used to talk about what the script says, the script for when you're going out there pitching your product. But it's art and science blended together. And I was so happy to hear Pete Loshak talk about that today, where he said it's the art and the science to make these picks. And I totally agree with this guy there. That's a very informative thing to say out there. And we've got the Cincinnati Reds team that opened up as road dogs at plus 116, 57% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the Cincinnati Reds. The line has gotten moved in the Reds' direction. That's correlated line movement. Plus 116, now plus 112. The Reds have moved from minus 136 to minus 127. Then we look at the total. This total is super low. It's sitting at 7. 50% of the bets, 99% of the cash on the under. I just don't think it can go any lower at this point here. To me, that's it. That's exactly where the number can get to. But when you look at these two teams, you got Gilbert going on the mound and you got Green going on the mound. Now, Green had a pretty decent year last year, at least through the midway point of the year. His K-prop is set at 9.5. Now it's plus 180. So, you got to get a lot of strikeouts, essentially, is what's happening there. That's where the correlated low total comes into play. Then you look at Gilbert. He's over 8.5, but he's juiced up to the 6.5. So 6.5 at minus 155. Gilbert's line has come down significantly. Then we look at this last game. The Mariners beat up on them, Cincinnati Reds 9-3, which is impressive because that total was sitting at 7. That's a team that struggled with their bats. Their previous series out there, they lost 3-2, 4-1. They won 4-2. They won 6-1 against Toronto to close out that series. They lost the previous games before that as well. They're good for one game a series, earliest in the season anyways. Now, midway through the season, when we get to All-Star break, we'll reevaluate that assessment there. But this Reds team has been mashing the ball. Now, was their first game of the series there in that 9-3 loss just then. But I suspect we see some bounce back in this team here. The Reds have won 7 of their last 8 games when they're in the dog roll after a loss. That's the bounce back spot. They've won 7 of their last 8 as a dog after a loss. The Mariners. Here's where I ultimately got the confidence to jump in on this one. The Mariners have gone 15-15 when Logan Gilbert starts as a home favorite. No edge, minus 21% in the ROI bucket. They're 6-20 on the run line at minus 1.5. 6-20 in that run line situation out there when they got Logan Gilbert on the bump. So then I looked at the other side of things, and the plus 1.5. The plus 1.5 for the Cincinnati Reds is minus 205s. That to me says these bookies think this is a one-run game. It's going to be a tight battle. We see the correlated line movement. We know the Reds bounce back. It all signs to me point to a Cincinnati Red spot at plus 112. So we will take that game and we will move on to the last game on the card. And it is the 940 spot there. We've got the Cubs and we've got the Diamondbacks. We've got a line that's got 82% of the bets and 95% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. It's moved from minus 118 to minus 122. And we got a game that's expecting runs. It started at 9.5. It's gone up a full run to 10.5. 75% of the bets and 99% of the cash on the over. Line is jacked up. We see Henry starting on the Diamondback side of things, 5.79 ERA. Then we see Hendricks on the other side of things for the Cubs with a 12.08 ERA. Hendricks isn't great. He's not a 12.08 ERA type of guy either. His K-prop sucks, though. It's 3.5, and it's plus 122. I think we see runs flying around this game. I think it's runs galore. Henry's K-prop over 4.5 is plus 110. I see a minus 104 out there. I would lean towards under 16.5 outs when it comes to the Henry side of things here. That's pretty juicy, though. Minus 130, minus 125s out there for the spot. I'm going to go to the Reds. I got the correlated line. I'm sorry, the Reds. I'm going to go to the Diamondbacks here. This team, they typically lose one game in a series. We have a unique spot in Major League Baseball. When you're the favorite and you're winless in a series, the next game is the last game of the series. So you're in the middle of a 3-game series, essentially, or I guess it could be a 4-game after the second game. 37-5 in those spots. They're winning by 3 runs on average, 28-14 on the run line out there, generating 51% ROI on the run line. That means if you're a winless favorite, the next game is the last game of the series, and you were a favorite or a small dog the last game out there, essentially meaning the favorite that didn't win that first game in the series is going to win one before the end of the series. I think it's this spot. We know they're a 2-1, 3-1 type of team in the series. I'm going to go to the Diamondbacks. So the Diamondbacks have won each of their last 9 games against the NL Central when they follow a home loss. Bounce back galore on their home turf, if you will. And it's Arizona Diamondbacks. It's minus 1 for Major League Baseball. We've got the Diamondbacks minus 120, the Cincinnati Reds plus 112, the Philadelphia Phillies under 8.5 minus 114, the San Francisco Giants minus 130, Wilmer Flores plus 190 RBI, and then the KC first 5, KC full game minus 105. Let's get to the action. Our guy's backstage. He's ready to go. He's got the colors on tonight. He's been kicking ass and taking names. Strongest NBA guest we got here on Last Call. Let's bring in Billy Briz, our Tuesday expert. Billy! What up, Billy Briz? How you doing, my guy?
Shouts to everybody in the chat. The NBA season has officially started. Grab your drinks, grab what you smoke, and cheers. Let's go make some money tonight.
Let's get that money indeed, my guy. Welcome to the show. Hope you're
That's
doing
a Jack
well.
and a Coke like that. Don't let that be full. That ain't no soda.
I wouldn't expect anything different from you, my guy. I'm happy to see you getting after it. AOD says the silent assassin. Crazy LFG, the fan club is here for you, my guy. They are ready to hear how you're getting paid. We've been waiting all year. We're finally here. It's go time, man. I can't wait to talk about these games. I've got some proclivities myself as far as how I think they're going to go, but look, I'll drop the line out there with the numbers, and then you tell us how we're going to go get paid by the window. I do have a couple of thoughts here. I've got a same-game parlay involvement as well. We've got this Lakers game opened up as 1.5-point dogs, road dogs, the Lakers. Now sitting at ones. This game starts at 7:30, so we got 45 minutes. We got plenty of time. 66% of the bets and 87% of the cash on the Lakers. Marginal movement. In fact, the movement has really come, if you guys have seen us with Last Call, we like to look at the money line when we get these tight little factors there. The ones and twos, we coin flip them. We go down to the money line. We see that, in fact, the Lakers opened up as plus 102 dogs. Now they're slight favorites at minus 102. We see that the Pelicans came down from minus 122 to minus 110. We have 68% of the bets and 88% of the cash on the Lakers. Then we've got the total moved from 228s down to 224.5s. We have a situation where there's the potential pros versus Joes, Billy. 73% of the bets on the over, 78% of the cash on the under. The under has been gaining the steam. That line has dropped. And this one's for all the marbles, man. It's a weird one, too, because these teams just played.
Not specifically for all the marbles.
Well, that's true. It's a big playoff game, though. It's a big opener for the playoff game. We know that the loser of this game will play the loser of the next game, right? They'll be playing for that last kind of play-in spot there. But
no, the loser of this game plays the winner of Golden State Sacramento.
Thank you. And we see these guys just played. The fuck, they just played on April 14th, 124 to 108. That makes no sense. But here they are, playing again. Billy Briz, lay it on us, my guy. Tell us how we're getting paid here. We waited long enough. Talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, they dominated the Pelicans during the regular season, but this will be a rematch of Sunday's game. I expect a different energy level here from the Pelicans tonight. Neither team ideally wants to play the Denver Nuggets if they win this game in the playoffs, but this spot feels a little bit more important to the Pelicans to win than the Lakers, who got kicked out of the playoffs by the Denver Nuggets and lost to them in each matchup this season, even on Kobe Day. But this doesn't really reflect, that's just a little bit of narrative theory talk. It doesn't mean that the Lakers are going to tank this spot, but with Scott Foster underwhelmed, who knows what to expect and see in this game. Ideally, if you're the Lakers, you kind of want to play Golden State or Sacramento on Friday night in a win-or-go-home playoff spot. The Lakers are winners of 4 out of the 5 meetings head-to-head. 3 of those games were double-digit wins. The total on this game sitting at 224.5, 7 points down from that 231.5 total on Sunday, which tells me the Pelicans are going to look a little bit better defensively, and the Lakers aren't going to look as good offensively. They won't shoot 55.2% from field goal range again. The reverse line movement in the market's telling me it's definitely a pros versus Joe spot. The public's slamming the Lakers money line. The sharps are hitting the Pelicans money line. And I actually took the Pelicans on the money line here at minus 115. The only player prop that really stood out to me in this one was D'Angelo Russell over 16.5 points at minus 130. D'Lo's been solid versus the Pelicans in the last 2 seasons. He's gone over his point prop 6 out of his last 7 games, with the lone miss being a 14-point game where he only played 22 minutes. He's been heating it up. At the end of the season right now, he's gone over his point prop 20 out of his last 30 games to close the season. The Pelicans have struggled versus pick-and-roll ball handlers during the last week. Curry had 33. De'Aaron Fox had 33. D'Lo had 19 and Scoot Henderson 19. So D'Lo is kind of on the whelms of going over on his point prop. But I like the Pelicans here on the money line tonight.
All right, hear me out. Hear me out, Billy. A lot of people talking about how they don't want this, they don't want that. LeBron James, I would say he's old as dirt, but I'm in fact older than he is, so that would mean that I'm older than dirt. So we won't go there. I'm not that old. But that being said, you know LeBron James wants to play with his kid. Everybody knows that, right? You're going to have to play these guys anyways. Why would you go duck, dodge, dip, duck, dive out of the way of a team that's out there? You might as well go. It's not true.
Would you rather play Denver or Oklahoma City that's never seen a fucking playoff game since Kevin Durant's left?
That's true. That's fair. The Nuggets have won 9 straight games against the Lakers, so that's definitely a point of contention against them. But I kind of feel like in this case here, you go out there, you win. Like for LeBron, the best case scenario would be win this game, put up a bunch of stats, go out there, throw your nuts up against Denver, hang it up, get some rest, recharge the batteries, and then go play next year with your kid and kumbaya the rest of your way through the NBA career. In my head, that's how I see this thing playing. The Sacramento Kings have swept the Lakers 4-0. It's a bad spot any way you are for the Lakers. You might as well just go win and then let them fucking torch LeBron James the next game out there. Anyhow, the way I went about this one here, I got a plus 260 same game parlay. I took the Lakers money line. I've got LeBron James 25 plus points and 7 plus assists. I don't like to go against my guy Billy Brizzett. Historically does not work out well for me. But I'm a junkie for some action. I like the same game parlays. I got the risk-free token. I got the Lakers money line. LBJ 25 plus points and 7 plus assists. Plus 260. It's actually plus 265 spot for me. So plus 265, Billy. It's LB night. Change your fucking attitude. Let's go.
Nah, man, it's Pelicans fly, Pellies fly, Pelicano straight on the money line. Book it. Scott Foster underwhelmed. We're going deep here with the Pelicans in the first playing game. I usually don't like betting Scott Foster games, nor do I like betting against the Lakers. But you're telling me a team that's blown out another team, they won 4 out of 5 meetings and won 3 of those games by double digits, and the last one being on Sunday. And this line's a pick 'em. Tell me what I don't know. And at that point, I'm going with the Pelicans.
The Lakers are 8-0 against the team they beat as a dog or a small favorite when they got a total less than 235. 8-0. They're covering the spread by 13 points a game. And the Pelicans are 0-10 as a favorite versus a team they lost to or beat by 1 point as a favorite with a total less than 235. You couldn't have any more intersection of the zero avenue here, and they are losing those games by 11 points as well on average per game out there. Looks like we're going to be head-to-head. Looks like we're going to have some fun talking about this.
It's not the end of the cap, but I will say, hey, if you're the Lakers, that Friday night home game versus Golden State or Sacramento looks a lot more appealing, regardless of the injury news or who wants to rest, this, that, and the third. You got to be realistic with yourself. And realistically speaking, y'all motherfuckers ain't beating the Nuggets, so why even go down that route? But that's not the main reason why I bet the Pelicans in this one. I think it's a good spot for Pelicans to bounce back. Brandon Ingram was on a minutes limit. He's off of the minutes limit tonight. Scott Foster underwhelmed. This is going to be a sweater. This is going to be 30 booth reviews in the last 2 minutes of this game. So get your popcorn ready because this one's going to be a nail biter, I feel like, throughout the whole entire one.
Dude, what a great game, though. I mean, in terms of the battle with the competition and the players, the narratives, the AD factor. I mean, there's just so many subplots to this game that it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. I see our guy Leonard Ford.
I was going to say Saturday asked about the totals in this one. What are your thoughts on the total? It seems like the sharps are hitting under and the public is hitting over.
Yeah, so, and that kind of correlates to what Leonard Porsche was saying there, where he says anyone else riding the Dennis Garcia and Jimmy all playoffs, every player under every game spot there.
No, this is a playing tournament. It's not a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking playoff game. These guys, you know what?
It's not a playoff game. It's a playing tournament.
I don't know what the fucking NBA is doing with themselves. It's not a play. It's the in-season tournament, but it's the start of the tournament. The fucking season doesn't matter till Christmas. It's not playoffs, it's play-ins. I'm fucking confused. Nobody wants to play, but everybody wants to play. This
isn't a playoff game. This is not a playoff game. So I feel like that theory of betting star player unders and playoff games, this is not a playoff game. This is a play-in game. So I would imagine the studs are going to play as many minutes as they can handle, regardless of what they want to do after.
So the numbers that I had was the whooping up factor there, which they had just done, right? When they just beat the opponent by double digits. The total is 14-0 for the LA Lakers out there. So kind of where I was going to go with that one, with the question around, is anybody playing that theory? I tried putting it in the chat today with Jimmy. I couldn't, for some reason, they probably fucking shut me out. My chat feature wasn't working. I thought that it was very squirrely situation for this game. Down, you know, to hear Billy say that it's not a playoff game certainly, again, kind of validates or underlines the challenge there. In an over spot, you want to bet player point totals under? I don't know. I mean, if you do enough of them, and I think what Jimmy was suggesting is he was going to bet every single starting player. I don't know. I like what Billy does. Billy, when you get the bench players in there and you start going with their point props, like, I like that strategy that you get involved with there when it comes to the minutes, and you've shown an incredibly high level of success doing that this season. So I don't know that I could just start going automatically playing unders, but you know, I wish him luck. I'm curious to hear how it's going to turn out. And let's talk about this next game. Shit, I hate to do this, but it's the Golden State Warriors, the Sacramento Kings. It's open at +1. It's moved to +3. Billy, I got to check. I'll be right back, my guy. Feel free to talk about this game. Lay it on us.
Yeah, this is in my personal opinion, both games are really good, but this could potentially be the game of the night here. Golden State is going into Sacramento to light the beam. Is Sacramento going to light the beam tonight? I don't know, man. -2.5 is where this line has creeped up to, opened up at 1.5. A little bit of money coming in here on Golden State, and it seems like that's where all the bets are really at. 80% of the bets and 86% of the money here is on Golden State, and it's about pretty reflective here on the money line as well. And I'm not going to deny it here. I like Golden State in this spot. The Warriors have been playing their best basketball of the year. They've gone 27-12 over the last 39 games. The light the beam is one of the coolest traditions in all of the NBA, but Sacramento's been overrated at home, going 18-23 ATS. Their depth has been questioned since Herter and Monk have been out of the lineup. And then last year's series, it was really Malik Monk was the reason why that series got extended. He was fucking electric. Second on the team of points, 19.4 points per game in that series, shooting 51.5% from the field and 43.8% from the three-point line in 4 games versus Golden State this season. He isn't out there on the court tonight, and I think that's going to be a big loss for them. Golden State 15-6 ATS is road favorites, 4th best in the NBA, tied with Dallas for the 2nd best road record this season, going 27-14 ATS. Golden State 4.2 net rating on the road, 4th best in the NBA. And then on little play-in tournament note, this is not a playoff stat. This is a play-in tournament note. So it's a small sample size. Short favorites of 4 or fewer points are 6-0 ATS. When a team with the worst seed are favorited during the play-in tournament, they are 2-0 ATS. And that's the spot that Golden State's in tonight. I think Golden State Warriors come out and play tonight.
I like it. I think it is a Warrior spot. I am on the Warriors money line for me in this game. And maybe that's just too simple, but you know, now as we're looking at these numbers and we see what's happening here, you know, -142, it's a little pricier than I'd like it to be, but you know, at the end of the day, it's a play-in game, and that 2 points could very well be the difference. I'd rather not factor it in and just give me this Golden State spot. I know a lot of people have talked about this narrative and saying, you know, if the Lakers win, do they want them to be the case and this and that? I don't know. I think Golden State gets the job done tonight. I like this Warriors team. They're ready to roll up. They're ready to get it done. The only numbers I have that kind of conflict with that are the Kings being the Golden State rather is in an 0-14 spot. Teams who won outright or lost by less than 2 buckets the previous 2 meetings are 0-14. And they're getting stopped by 18 points on average if they were dogs or small favorites in those games. So tricky situation there to see how they rebound and bounce back to it. But I am on Golden State. I'm rocking with them. Warriors, time to come out and play, Billy. It's not a playoff game. It's a play-in game.
I think the play-in game is more important for this type of seeding. The 9-10 matchup, because this is winner go home. The loser goes home, packs their bags, that's it. The winner plays the loser of that 8-9 matchup. So this one's a little bit more, I feel like, I don't want to say important because, all the games are important at this point of the season. It just feels like seems like a Warriors. A couple player props I was looking at for this one was Stephen Curry over 33.5 points and rebounds at -115. Sacramento has struggled guarding Curry last season during the playoffs. He averaged 33.7 points over the 7-game series. During the regular season, he had 31 points per game across 4 meetings. Curry scored at least 29 points in 3 out of 4 meetings, with the only lone miss being a 21-point performance, which was his worst shooting percentage this season. And he's gone over his rebound prop line 4 out of his last 5 games, averaging 6 rebounds per game. And he's gone over in each of the games versus Sacramento this season. They're ranked 23rd in rebounds allowed to point guards. One player prop under. I don't want to be the guy Saturday, but I am betting the under on De'Aaron Fox, 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Despite the minutes, it's not the best spot for Fox for a ceiling game. Golden State have allowed the 4th least points and 5th least rebounds to the point guard position over the last 30 days. Historically, Fox has struggled versus Golden State, only going over his PRA line in 4 out of their last 13 games played head-to-head wise. And I think that's going to help out Keegan Murray here. I'm on his over 17.5 points in a parlay. Golden State has allowed the 9th most catch and shoot 3-pointers in their last 15 games. Murray without Monk has seen a significant increase in volume. He's gone over his point prop 6 out of his last 8 games without Monk, with 30-plus minutes, including 4 out of 4 games at home, one of the bigger home road splits on this team, averaging 17.5 points per game, meanwhile only 13 points per game on the road. Without Monk, he's seen 14-plus field goal attempts in every game and 14-plus field goal attempts in each home game, clearing his point prop in 12 out of his last 13 home games. This line originally opened up at 15.5 on Sunday, and a lot of bets have gone on towards the over, where 17.5 is the best price at -125, but I'm seeing 18.5 on FanDuel as well. So money's coming in on the over here for Keegan Murray, and deservedly so. I actually put a little same game parlay in for this one. Curry points and rebounds, Murray over his point prop, De'Aaron Fox under 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and Golden State money line, it was plus 885.
Yeah. So let me start this over from an official perspective for you. You got Golden State money line?
Straight money line.
Okay, gotcha. And then did you take the De'Aaron Fox under 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists? So hold my hand.
This is the same game parlay. Curry, 33.5 points and rebounds. Warriors money line. Murray, 17.5 points. De'Aaron Fox under points, rebounds, and assists, and it was plus 885 here.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so I got you with Golden State, and then I got you with the same game parlay at plus 885. That makes sense. And then I got you on the And then I got you on the New Orleans Pelicans money line is it -110?
I got -115 at Tipico Sportsbook.
Gotcha. All right, last play for me on this game here. Something that I found I thought a little creative here. I don't know. I like the angle. I like what I heard from Steve Kerr when he was talking about the team. We'll get this wrapped up and we'll get you guys up out of here. I'm going to go Golden State to make the playoffs. As Billy stated, this is not a playoff game. This is a play-in game. This line this morning was plus 325. It's dropped to plus 300. So I'm going to add a unit on that as well. I'm going to take Golden State to make the playoffs at plus 300. That's a big spot that I like there for these guys to get through this kind of early qualification and then officially get themselves into the playoffs. And it's now plus 300. So that's over on DraftKings. If you guys are looking for that, you can find it in the NBA section. If you scroll over to where it says win/playoffs, right before the DK specials, win/playoffs, you'll find Golden State 2023-24 to make the playoffs plus 300. It's right at the top of the options within there. So plus 300 to get that done, Billy. Let's get some cash tonight, my guy. What's going on with you? Tell them where everybody can find you. What's happening in the world of Billy Briz? What are you going to do with no UFC this weekend?
Oh, just because there's no UFC doesn't mean that we're not cashing some PFL tickets. PFL week 3 of the regular season. And hey, call it what you how you see it, the way the cookies crumbled. PFL has been my most profitable organization throughout the first couple of weeks of the regular season so far. So let's keep the good times rolling. Make sure you check me out over on getting_bills on X. We just posted over there at the Don't Tap Podcast PFL Week 3 picks and bets edition over there. Shout outs to Cal and those from the land down up over there in Canada. And make sure you follow me over on Instagram at Billy Bridge DFS. All content usually here on Pub Sports Radio, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Dan Kelly says, what is the PFL? The PFL is the Professional Fighting League organization where, you know how we watch UFC fights, and granted, like every UFC fight is worth it, but you know, sometimes some people fight towards their win bonus and not trying to get the finish. Well, the PFL season is a little bit different. Each fight of the regular season is accrued points. So you get 3 points for a decision, first round finish 6, second round 5, third round 4. And those points are in a standings. Top 4 fighters in each weight class make the playoffs in a 2-fighter tour, basically like a 2-fight tournament where you win $1 million at the end of the tournament. Definitely not the UFC, but it's second fucking best, man. There's a lot of people in there that fight in the PFL that fight in the PFL because they can win $1 million compared to the UFC where they're being paid shit money. Like Antonio Carlos Jr. is a prime example. He was in the UFC, got cut out of the UFC off of a win, and his UFC record was just fine. But he was making more money doing Big Brother Brazil than he was fighting in the UFC. So he said, fuck this, I'm out. And he went over to the PFL, won $1 million, took a year off, paid more in taxes that year than what he made his whole entire UFC career. Talk about leveling up. That's why you got to watch the PFL. Some of those boys are fighting for some real money right there. Each fight matters, and that's the reason why I like the PFL a little bit more than the UFC sometimes.
Well, I'm glad to see our guy T has finally come around. He says it's all scripted. Don't bet on it. Doesn't mean you can't bet on it. It's just this, you know, we have.
You just got to know the script.
That's all. You just got to know what or you got to talk to the Lions because the Lions know the script too. So, Billy, great job today. It's going to be fun seeing how these games roll out tonight, my guy. Appreciate you coming in, ready to bang here. We're going to go out there and kick some ass and take some names. And I will see you up here real soon, my guy. Appreciate you rocking. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat. We got games about to pop off. Good luck with your action, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow, Monday to Friday, last call, 6 p.m. Stay pumping, baby.
Yeah, party over at Baggett tonight.